bonjour year 8 and welcome to your last French lesson of the year, if you can believe it. So we're going to start with an activity that uses the present and the past tense. Because today's lesson I want to focus on all three. I want us to know the past, present and future. We did the past tense towards the start of year 8, so it might be a little bit groggy in some of your minds, but some of you might find this quite easy. What you need to do is to choose the correct verb that makes sense in each sentence. So is it je regarde or j'ai regardé? Hint, use this week's fact book entry to help you, and here's a little clue in this blue box here. And your challenge, if you get through this really quickly, is to change these verbs, which I said were in the present and the past, change them please to be in the future. So I did the first one for you. Je regarde is I watch. J'ai regardé is I watched. So you needed to change it to je vais regarder. I'm going to watch. Okay, pause the screen here and give it a go. Your answers are as follows. Yesterday evening I watched a football match. I like football a lot. J'aime. Le week-end dernier, last weekend, j'ai joué. I played football with my friends. It was great. Not it's great, it was great. In general, we play in the park. On joue. Not in general, we played in the park. No, no, no. Après le match, after the match, I went to my friend's house. Chez mon copain. Je suis allé, I went. So there was quite a few clues in your fact book. Underneath here at the bottom, I've written out all these verbs in the future tense, so you can mark your own there. They all start with the person, part of aller, and then the verb in the infinitive. So je vais regarder, I'm going to watch. Ça va être, it's going to be. On va jouer, we are going to play, etc. So our objectives for today is that you all recognise the difference between verbs in the past, present and future, i.e. what do they look like. Most of you are also going to recognise some common irregular ones. And some of you will be able to do me a little bit of writing using all three tenses. Let's see whether you can make it all the way to that top objective. Our title, Le week-end dernier, means last weekend. And that little sheep there is very happy about it. So, starting with the past and the present, what I want you to do is read this text here, find these four phrases, I watched, I went, I ate, and I liked. And task 2 is to put these pictures in the order mentioned in the text. So we've got popcorn, watching a TV match, being a fan of Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, going to a cafe, and going to a stadium. So what happened first and what happened last? Your challenge is to translate this first paragraph into English. It's using words and phrases from 3 weeks prior to today. Loads of stuff in there. Here's your answers. If you haven't already paused the screen, do so. So I watched is j'ai regardé. I went is je suis allé. I ate is j'ai mangé. I should have an accent on it. Silly PowerPoint keeps changing this to English. And j'ai aimé. I liked. The order is C, B, A, E, D. And if you did the challenge, I'm going to show you the answer next. Here's your translation, so give yourself a mark there. I like the use of je suis drôle et intelligente. So it's a girl talking because it ends in E. On s'entend bien, we get on well. On regarde, we watch. There's loads of stuff there that's really lovely French language. So, particular focus right now on the past tense. For most verbs, you follow this pattern. So it's j'ai, and then your verb with change so it's got an E on the accent. An accent on the E at the end. J'ai regardé. J'ai aimé. J'ai mangé. An irregular one, alert, alert, is aller. And you don't use j'ai, you use je suis. I don't need to go into all the details of grammar about it, because at the end of year 8, all I want you to know is that most past tense verbs look like this, j'ai regardé, j'ai aimé, j'ai mangé, and some are irregular, including I went. So I went is je suis allé, and if you're a girl, you need to add the extra E. Could you read through these 5 sentences? 3 of them are correct, and 2 of them are grammatically wrong. There's something wrong with them based on what information is in this box here. Could you find me the 3 sentences that are correct? Pause the screen here. Okay, correct sentences were number 1, j'ai joué. Number 4, j'ai aimé. And number 5, j'ai mangé. 1, 4 and 5 were correct. Number 2, look, we're missing an accent off this E. J'ai regardé. And number 3, it's not je joué, it's j'ai joué. J''ai. J'ai joué. Most verbs, look, for most verbs, follow this pattern here. Je suis salé is a weird one. In your fact books for this week, you'll see this, which is a kind of key to learning what the past, what the present, and what the future is going to look like. And by the end of year 8, I need you to recognise all these 3. So immediately when you're reading French, you know, oh, this person's speaking in the past tense, or the future tense, or the present tense. So the difference is, past usually, for most verbs, starts with j'ai, and then your verbs end with E with an accent. In the present tense, the verbs start with je, and there's no accents. And in the future tense, they all start with je again, and then vais, I am going, and then your verb is in the infinitive, so it ends in er. They all look really similar, but I watched, I watch, I'm going to watch. They're all very similar in English too. So I need you to recognise those 3 patterns there. So, all of you this week, I want you to recognise the difference between verbs in the past, present and future. Some of you might be thinking, yep, I can tick that off already. Most of you are going to recognise irregular verbs that don't follow that pattern. Well, we just talked about je suis allé. If you weren't sure about that, I've put it on your fact book because it's an irregular one. And some of you will be able to produce a text using all 3 tenses. Well, we've got one more step to do before that. So, based on what we know about the past tense, I want you to go through this top paragraph here and find all examples of the past tense. And then in the second text, I want you to go through and find all the examples of the future tense. Okay, so use your fact book to help you and pause the screen here. This is probably going to take a good 5 minutes. So pause the screen here and give this one a go. Okay, I've highlighted in red where your answers are. It doesn't start until the second part. Je m'appelle Loïc. My name is Loïc, and I'm a fan of music. This first bit is all in the present tense. Music, it's my passion. I listen to a bit of everything. Rock, R&B, etc., etc. This is using phrases and vocabulary from 2 weeks ago. Je suis allé, past tense, and it's a boy because it's only got 1 E on the end. J'ai trouvé, I found it. Even if you didn't know what trouvé meant, I was hoping you could find that that was the past tense. Look, right underneath is the present tense. Je trouve, I find it. J'ai trouvé, I found it. Hier soir, yesterday evening, j'ai écouté, I listened. Le week-end dernier, last weekend, j'ai regardé, I watched a football match on TV. Hopefully you found all of those examples of the past tense. And then in the second paragraph, the first bit is all in the present tense. Normally I watch video clips on YouTube. I play Guitar Hero. We like to play. Not we are going to play. We like to play. Present tense. This summer. Ooh, cet été. That's a nice phrase. This summer, I'm going to watch. My mum is going to come too. She's going to a Guns N' Roses concert. Je vais porter. I am going to wear. We saw that phrase last week. I'm going to wear a black t-shirt, jeans, and white trainers. I think that I'm also going to wear. Je vais aussi porter. And then there's the word aussi in the middle, which is a bit confusing, but aussi means also. So it means like I am also going to wear a hat, un chapeau. On va chanter et on va danser. We are going to sing and we are going to dance. So in the top paragraph there in red are loads of examples of the past tense. And in the bottom paragraph, we've got loads of examples of the future tense. So our final objective was to be able to write, potentially, if you can, in all 3 tenses. But you get as far as you can with this. If you think you can only answer the first 2 bullet points, that's okay at this stage. If you think you can answer all 4, brilliant. I'm looking for approximately 50 words about the whole topic we've been studying. So, start by giving your name and 2 adjectives to describe yourself. If you can, add something that you think you are not. I don't think I am very clever, for example. I've put underneath some sentence starters in French and in English. Je m'appelle, I'm called, ... Je suis means I am. Next bullet point, and this is all as one paragraph, so don't separate it into like 4 different paragraphs. I have a brother or a sister, I get on with ... put their name, because he or she is, and then give an example of an adjective to describe them. Say what you did last weekend. Oh, by the way, in this bullet point here, if you want to say, I don't get on with my sister because we squabble, look back a couple of weeks into your fact book, and you'll find it there. Say what you did last weekend. Le weekend dernier, j'ai ... Last weekend I did something. Je suis allé, I went. Now, if you go back a little bit in this video, you'll see an activity we did, or a few activities we've done, with loads of examples of the past and future. C'était means it was. Say what your plans are for this summer. Cet été, je vais something, ça va être something. This summer I'm going to do whatever, it's going to be something. Well, in the current climate, I'm sure you're not going to do anything that interesting, but maybe you are. Or maybe you can make it up. So, either take a photo of this and send it to me, or you could type it up and send it to me. It's Mrs. Cunningham, so my email address is going to be on the next slide. If you've got any questions or queries, don't hesitate to email me either. And your holiday task is number 1, to have a wonderful break. But if you would like some challenges while you're at home for a long time, and you want to get a head start on some things for next year, please email me sometime before the end of this week, because I don't know how frequently I'm going to be on the computer over summer. Frankly, we don't want you getting bored, do we, over summer? So, send me an email if you need to. Send me an email with your French paragraph in it, please. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful break. And I'll see you in September. Au revoir.